Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I am live, but I know that I am late today. I went to sleep. Sorry, my coffee is getting cold. I went to sleep. I think I realized it was 4 o'clock in the morning. I was busy organizing my photos, scheduling for next cohorts, speakers, and all that. Sometimes when you get so engrossed with what you do, you forget about the time. Anyway, good morning, everyone. It is still morning, and it is still good. Although I was supposed to go live at 9 o'clock. Woke up at around 10, and I just said, you know what? I'll take my time, and here I am. So, welcome back to Morning Coffee and Conversation with Joyce. I'm so grateful you're here. I'm here. And whether you're joining me live or watching the replay, today I want to share a life lesson that has completely changed the way I look at work and success. Um, so if you guys are watching, I would love you to share, like, and comment. If you would like to join me, let me just actually put my um, thing here of what I am going to talk about because now I'm on episode 2, life's lesson, and I'm talking about something about work smarter, not harder. Isn't that nice? That's a nice topic to talk about today. So I'm going to show my topic for today to everyone, and I'm just going to open up the the chat if anybody is interested. So today I want to share this. I want to share this simple life lesson that has completely changed the way I look at work and success. Like what I said, we've all heard the saying, work smarter, not harder. I normally, in our thought, because if we've been honest, or if we're honest to ourselves, many of us were raised to believe that we work hard, or the harder we work, the more successful we'll become. I believed that for so many years until very recently. And there was a time in my life when I worked multiple jobs, and I thought that if I just work longer hours, sacrifice my weekends, and push through the exhaustion, eventually life will get easier. Instead, what happened? I became tired. I missed important family moments. I was constantly busy, but I wasn't really moving forward. I wasn't building freedom. I was simply surviving. The experience taught me something very valuable. Sorry, my voice is that's my voice in the morning, and I feel weird because sometimes it's like that doesn't sound like me, but I notice that every morning that's just my voice. Anyway, so like what I said, I miss a lot of quality time. I miss some milestones in my children's life because I was working harder, and being busy doesn't always mean you're being productive, right? Like there are days that I thought, oh my gosh, I didn't have time to do this because I was busy. But at the end of the day, I will sit down and think, what have I done? What have I accomplished? Because I seem so busy that I didn't even have time to sit down and eat properly. Do you guys relate? Can you relate to me? So sometimes what happens is we confuse movement with progress. But working smarter doesn't mean being lazy, it means being intentional. So, what I do now, when I know what I want to do for the following day, I write it down. I write my intentions of what I want to accomplish. When I write things down, I become more productive because I try to schedule the flow of my day, right? When you're being intentional, it means that you're asking yourself, like, is this the best use of my time? Is this a better way to do this? Am I building something that will benefit me in the future? Or am I just staying busy today? That is a very common thing that us moms do. So we have to remember that the most successful people don't necessarily more thus don't necessarily work more hours than everyone else. It is just they build systems, they learn new skills, they prioritize what matters most, and they continue learning. They focus on activities that create long term results, right? Instead of short term exhaustions. One thing I've learned that 1 hour spent learning a new skill can sometimes be more valuable than 10 hours or 12 hours doing the same thing over and over without improvement. And that's says true, or it's the same thing in the business, in our careers, in parenting, and in life as a whole. Sometimes working smarter simply means asking for help, delegating sometimes. I learned it that way. I'm OCD, not in a very bad way for me anyway. Um, I'm OCD in a very mild way still compared to other people who are really, really that bad. So for me, I find that I do things longer than normal because it has to work in a process. Like there's a process that has to be there. It's a process that I have to go through to achieve that. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I need to learn a skill to work with that, right? So lately, in my accountability group, I learned to designate, right? I cannot do everything myself. And I learned to adjust. I learned to modify things. I learned to um, be very critical and be very, people say that I'm such a perfectionist. I tend to be more aware of that flaw and try to adjust. So I learned new skill of how to be more productive, and I put intention now on what I do, right? So like what I said, working smarter simply means asking for help. Sometimes it means saying no to things that don't align with your goal, or it means taking a break so that you can come back with a clearer mind. Self care. Self care is very important to anyone. Um, it's funny because I never put a name to that, but ever since I work as a dental assistant, or when I became a dental assistant, I made sure that I give myself a good, loving, tender, loving care at least once a week, because working as a dental assistant is very taxing on our back. I tend to pronate myself a little bit more towards my right, and I do lean to make sure I can see what I'm doing. And because I'm a shrimp, meaning I'm short, so I call myself a shrimp, my chair is always high because my dentist was tall. So it's hard to assist when your dentist is tall and she's got all the height, and I cannot see what she's doing. So our chair is specially built for us, but I have to put it higher, lift myself up. But I make sure that my foot is hitting the ground, right? But if I want to go a little bit higher, I just elevate myself a little bit and lift myself up. But that is not even good for my back. So I learned to enjoy a good massage at least once a week. When I became a PSW, that even became um, a must for me to go for massage, to go for my, not my chiro, I go for osteopath. I go for um, those needle thingies, the acupuncture, and all that. And that's just self care. That for me, that is self care. Or on weekends, because before I never work on weekends when the kids were younger, it's spending time with them. But when I became a single mother, life changed for me. I just graduated from PSW, and I wasn't getting enough hours. I wasn't getting enough salary, so I had to work two jobs in that. Then um, I left dentistry at that time, so I worked two jobs as a PSW, and later on, I'm still like, it's still not enough, so I had to take another third job. That I lost time for myself. I lost time for my children. Um, and that is one thing that really drove me to looking for another way that I would get my time back then. So when I was able to start this online business, I was able to leave my two part-time, full-time jobs and just focus on one. I made sure that on my Saturdays, when the kids are with their dad, I just spend a day of just me time. Whether I'm just sitting, relaxing, or watching a movie, or treating myself to a special meal, or things like that. That is self care for me. And then on Fridays, I would go for my massage every Friday before because of my back. I'm not into nail polish, manicure, pedicure. I'm not into that. That's not my self care. My self care is really like just walking, being with nature, meeting friends, or just a me time. So that is another way to do that. Give yourself a break. And then it makes me a better person. It makes me a better mom because um, it just rejuvenates you, and it gives you a better a better thinking. Your mind is so clear and fresh, and you're ready to tackle another task, right? Working smarter, not harder, also means investing in yourself. Reading books, listening to podcasts. I listened to a few years ago, I started listening to Jim Ron, the podcast on Spotify. Then I went to Bob Proctor. He was still alive then when I was listening to him. And then I got into Rob Dial. I love Rob Dial, and Rob Dial's mentor is Jim Ron. Then I got to listening to Michelle Obama as well. I haven't done Oprah Winfrey. Then lately it was Mel Robbins, right? So those are my to go to podcasts, and try it, see what you'd like. Then mentors, finding mentors. All these years as a business owner, that was the hardest thing for me, is finding a good mentor. I didn't have a good mentor when I started. That is the honest truth. The mentor that um, I was assigned to didn't really do well. Um, so, me being so introverted, I didn't really ask so much. I didn't do anything. But I was just very lucky that there was one person, a business owner, that kind of saw my potential, kind of see me, and she adopted me. We call it adopted. She adopted me. She let me join her group. She pushed me to do things to get out of my comfort zone. And we became friends. She became a big part of my life. And then as I grew emotionally, mentally, I was able to be more open, be more talkative, be more assertive. I found more people that has helped me where I am now, not in a financial way, but with my personal growth. And I am very grateful that these people that I've met through my journey are very valuable to me, and I do appreciate everything that they've done. So, having a good mentor in your life or having a good friend is also a good way of investing and being smart on how you do things. So, also, I do follow people. I do, what do you call this? I do ask for pointers and probably coaching from people who have already walked the path that I'm trying to take, you know, because success leaves clues, you know, and that is just me and my journey. It takes a little bit longer, it takes a little bit slower, but for me, it's a pace that I guess I'll never regret doing, because along the way you learn a lot of good lessons in it. So one thing I've learned um, through my own journey is that growth happens when we're willing to learn instead of trying to figure everything out on our own. That was kind of lesson that took me so long to do. You know, the moment I stopped thinking I had to do everything by myself was the moment I started growing. And that is so, so, so true. And another thing that I wanted to share, probably from what I just said, is the moment I had developed my mindset was the moment I started growing. I had so many things. I could say that I'm a totally different person from 5 years ago. The way I think, the way I talk, the way I treat people, the way I talk to people. Um, and it surprises me how I keep saying to myself, oh, I should have done this a long time ago. But I guess then I wasn't ready for it. I wasn't, there was no willingness to do that. So today I want to leave you with a few questions to think about. Are you working hard, or are you working smart? Or are you simply feeling your day? Or are you making progress towards the life you truly want? What is one thing you could do differently today that would save you time, reduce stress, or move you closer to your goals? Remember, success isn't about how exhausted you are at the end of the day. It's about creating life that gives you purpose, peace, and eventually the freedom to spend time with the people you love and the people that matters most to you. Work hard, absolutely, but also work wisely. Because when you combine hard work with smart decisions, that's where real transformation begins. So thank you so much for listening, for joining me today for another morning coffee and conversations with Joyce. If this message spoke to you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave me a comment below and tell me, what does working smarter, not harder, mean to you? I hope this conversation encouraged you to take one small step today toward working with more purpose and intention. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Stay positive, keep learning, keep growing, and I'll see you on our next morning coffee and conversation. God bless everyone. This is Joyce signing out, and thank you on my episode 2. So I will be back Tuesday at 9 a.m. Ciao, everyone.